Hi there, this is Mrs. Strickland at Marvin Wright Elementary School. This is day 4, Math, Lesson 11, Solving One-Step Word Problems. Today we are going to be working on our final practice pages in our instructional book. We'll be working on pages 122 and 123. Now, what would probably work best is if you worked these 2 pages independently before we go over them, and then you can start the video back and follow along and we can check these together. So if you would, stop the video, complete pages 122 and 123 on your own, and then restart the video and we can go over them together. Welcome back. Let's go over our problems. Number 1, there are 8 socks in the dryer. How many pairs of socks is this? So we're going to think about what the problem is asking us. We can see that there are 8 socks, but we need to know how many are in a pair. Think about how many socks are in a pair. Well, you have 2 feet, so it would make sense that a pair of socks is 2. So, if I have a total, as we spoke about in the earlier videos, I have a total of 8, and I am dividing that total. Anytime you have a total, you're going to be dividing it up, or you can use it as the product in your multiplication problem. I'm going to be dividing it by 2, or I could think in my head 2 times the unknown is 8. If I've used my strategies of drawing an array, maybe I've drawn 2 until I get to 8. That would be 2, 4, 6, 8. I can see that I have 4 rows of 2. However you decided to solve it, I'm sure you came to the conclusion that that would be 4 pairs of socks. Let's continue. Number 2, Dana forms a rectangle with 15 square sticky notes. She puts 5 notes in each row. How many rows does she make? Once again, we have a total, 15. We can see that there are 5 notes per row. This is just like the problem we previously completed. We have our total. We can divide 15 divided by 5 to get the unknown. Or we can think to ourselves, 5 times the unknown will give us 15. Now in this case, I'm going to make an array. So I'm going to put 5 notes in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I can see that I have made 3 rows. Number 3, Jane has 42 balloons. She gives an equal number of balloons to 6 children. Can each equation be used to find the number of balloons Jane gives each child? So in this question, they're not necessarily asking us to solve it. They're not asking us for an answer. They're asking us to choose yes or no if we can use this equation to find out the number of balloons Jane gives each child. So let's evaluate each equation. A, 42 times 6. Well, as I look at that problem, that makes me think that I'm going to get a really big number as my answer if I do 42 6 times. And in fact, 42 is my total. So I don't think that 42 times 6 would give me the number that I am looking for. I think it would be much too large. I should not multiply my total. I'm trying to multiply two numbers to get my total. So I think this one is going to be no. I'm going to have to put no there for that one. I don't think that one's going to work. Look at B. 6 times a number equals 42. Well, as we just talked about, 42 is my total. So I'm looking for another number I can multiply times 6 to get 42. So yes, I think this one would help me. C. 6 divided by a number is 42. I don't think this is how division should be set up. The total should actually be in the beginning of the equation. It's the dividend. So 42 should actually be here. So this equation is not correct. 42 divided by 6. There we go. This one actually looks correct because we've got our larger number as our dividend divided by this number to get the answer we would be looking for. So yes. So those are the answers for number 3. Please check your work and change anything you need to change. Let's move on to number 4. Which problems can be solved using 12 divided by 4? Circle the letter for all that apply. So we have to find more than one answer here. It's not going to be just one answer for all that apply. Let's read each one and evaluate each statement. Brandon has 12 cookies. He gives the same number of cookies to each of his 4 friends. How many cookies does each friend get? Well, this is my total. Brandon has 12. And if I'm using my imagination, I'm imagining him dividing the cookies between 4 friends. So if I look at this problem and I think about Brandon having a total of 12, dividing it between 4 friends, then I would think that A would definitely go along with that equation. Let's look at B. Zoe has 12 folders. She wants to put 4 papers in each folder. How many papers does she need? If Zoe has 12 folders and she wants to put 4 papers in each, then that would be 4 12 times. If I keep going, I'm going to do this 12 times. Does this look like it would be, I could keep going. I could keep doing that 12 times. I don't think that that's really what I'm looking for. I don't think I'm dividing 12 folders. So I really don't feel like that this would be the correct one. So I'm not going to circle B. Michael rides his bike 4 miles a day. How many days will it take him to ride 12 miles? So the total is 12 miles, and he wants to do 4 miles a day. He's breaking the miles into groups of 4. He's splitting them. In other words, he's dividing the 12 miles into 4 miles a day. So C is definitely one of our answers. Lila has 12 tomatoes. She always uses 4 tomatoes to make a salad. How many salads can she make? Well, we have 12 total tomatoes, and she's using 4 tomatoes for a salad. That sounds like she is taking her 12 tomatoes and dividing them 4 tomatoes per salad. So it looks like we would also use division for this one. So for number 4, A, C, and D are all correct answers. Moving on to number 5. Katrina used 25 square green tiles to form a square in the middle of her kitchen floor. How many rows did she make? How many tiles did she put in each row? Well, I'm looking at 25. That's my total number of squares. And I know from my multiplication skills that I've worked on in the past that anytime a product ends in 5, I can use multiples of 5 to make a picture. So I'm going to start drawing rows of 5 until I get to 25. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. 5 more would make 10. 5 more would make 15. 5 more would make 20. And 5 more would make 25. So let's see how many rows we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we made 5 rows with 5 tiles in each row. We could also say that we know this multiplication fact. 5 times 5 equals 25. Number 6. There are 24 different tables set up for field day. The principal wants the tables set up in equal rows. Should she use 3 rows or 5 rows and explain? Well, let's look at our numbers. I've got 24 here, and she's asking if she should use 3 rows or 5 rows. Now let's think about the question we just completed. We know that if any number ends in a 5, it is also, you're able to put it in groups of 5. That would also be true with any number that ends with a 0. So any number like 30 or 35 would be able to be put in groups of 5. But I don't think 24 is divisible by 5. You cannot divide 24 equally by 5. So the principal cannot make 5 equal rows that have a total of 24 tables for their stations. So 24 divided by 3 would make it work maybe. So why don't we try 24 divided by 3? Let's do 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3, and then we have 6. And this would be 9. 12. 15. 18. 21. And 24. This would actually work. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could have 8 different rows of 8 tables. So we're going to say that the principal should use 3 rows because 24 divided by 3 is 8. 24 is not divisible equally by 5. Definitely not. So the principal should use 3 rows. All right. For the rest of your math lesson today, you need to complete the Lesson 11 quiz. Now, please keep in mind, you should complete this quiz on your own. All the other work you can go over with your parent or your partner, but the Lesson 11 quiz should be done independently. Thank you guys for watching with me this week. I hope you have a great week, and we will see you next time.